it's your man JQ on Geeked Out right here on Deftal Radio. This is Free.
Yo!
This is Chandler.
Yo!
And this is Megan.
Hey guys.
And you can see here we got a lot of stuff on the table, and we got a guest behind us.
We do.
So this episode, we're going to be talking about toys. As you can see, we're just surrounded by stuff. I brought my stuff. Megan brought her stuff. Chandler brought his stuff. And apparently Free decided to empty out his toy box and bring the whole thing with him.
Yeah.
So, anyways, before we get into all that good stuff, well, how's you guys' weekends?
You know what? Just quiet for me, uneventful. You know,
Wow, first time in months.
That's what he needed.
Getting ready for cons to start up again. You know, we're getting going with Level Up this weekend.
Cool.
Level Up is this weekend.
Level Up is this
All
weekend.
right.
Yeah.
And then Level Up, explain the Level Up to people who don't know what that is.
Level Up is basically a geek show. It is video games. It is anime. You're going to have voice actors there from cartoons and stuff like that. They now have comic books incorporated. Dan Mendoza from Zombie Tramp is going to be there. And it's just, you know, it's a lot of fun just in general. You know, you just want to geek out. You want to have fun. You know, you come out to this show. Like I said, there's something for everyone. There's something for everyone. So come out. It's at the Las Vegas Convention Center Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And, you know, you'll have a good time. So come on out and join us.
Cool. And if you can't make it there, you can go to the Great American Foodie Fest where you'll see me and Free. All weekend, and it's free.
I'm most likely Megan too.
And Megan, too. There's a lot of food.
Yeah, so I was planning on going to that, and then
Level Up.
Level Up, they're doing a voice actor class, so I was going to go to that.
Very cool.
And then Saturday's the premiere of the new Avenger movie.
Yes.
But it's Friday,
what?
but my Allstate agent rented out a theater, so I'm going on Saturday.
Well, we're not going to be watching until Monday. So.
Why? Why is that? Why is
Because
that?
we're going to be stuck at the Great American Foodie Fest till past midnight.
They're not gonna.
When does it start?
The 26th on my birthday.
What day
Me and
is
E.T.
that?
will
So it's
come.
Friday.
So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show?
What
The Foodie Fest?
Foodie Fest starts tomorrow, Thursday.
Fridays. Thursday.
Oh, it starts
Yeah.
on Thursday.
tomorrow.
Okay, so I have a chance to go down tomorrow and check out the
Yeah.
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 Starts
because I'm not going to have time Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
no.
So
Doors open at 5 o'clock.
okay,
Me and E.T. will come.
Awesome.
That'd be cool. Put him on stage.
No,
He
no, no,
used
no.
to go everywhere with me, so I drive to Georgia every week, and he'd go everywhere.
So do you have a bike with a basket in front?
Well, I had a van, and he would travel in the passenger seat. So he'd go through the studio lot with me and everything.
I was going to say, Megan sits here and sends a picture on text messages and says, we're on our way. But I look at the picture, I started laughing. I said, I know she's driving in the carpool lane right now. I just know it. And probably
I would.
popped in a, what?
People have been mad on my social media because I used to take pictures with him at landmarks and at parties and stuff. And now I haven't since I moved to Vegas.
So they're jonesing for it. They're like, oh, come on, bring back
they're like, when is he
ET.
gonna-
So I guess you could say this is the debut of
Right, the
ET.
reintroduction.
You know, but it just occurred to me, but looking at her and looking at him, I'm seeing Drew Barrymore right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
Drew
Baby
sitting
Barrymore.
here right now.
That's funny. I didn't
Oh
even
my
think about that,
God.
but yeah, all right.
I actually applied to be her stand-in. She was filming a movie in Kentucky.
Mhm.
And she's like my size.
Is she?
Hmm.
She's tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could almost fit in that suit, couldn't you?
No.
Like, no, my legs just stick
Well,
out.
that could be a little tight for you. Yeah, the neck could be a little
I
tight.
used to draw ET.
You know what else this
Huh.
weekend is?
Huh.
It is what they are predicting to be the biggest movie in all time
Yeah, that's
history.
That's what we were talking
That's
about.
coming out
Yeah.
this weekend.
That's
Yeah.
what she was talking about.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, my Allstate agent rented a theater out on Saturday.
Oh, cool. I did
So
not
it's
hear
like,
that
I'm
part
gonna
of
go
it.
to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the projected is that they're literally going to open a weekend, the first ever $1 billion opening on a $1 billion weekend.
They're talking about yeah, first, I think something like pre-sale, not pre-sales, but the article I read made it sound like
Yeah, the opening weekend
I think people are
will be $1 billion weekend, the first ever.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Oh, I
waiting for
I
stuff to
can
leak.
see that.
Oh, it's already.
Yeah, because they had the premiere 2 nights ago in
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
I was watching the premiere. They had it was at the LA Convention Center.
What was?
The
The
premiere.
premiere.
It was
For
not.
the
At,
actors.
it was not at the Chinese theater.
Somebody
No.
bought that.
Well, they
And they also set up all this extra stuff. They put
Well,
like a purple carpet down.
the Chinese theater,
Interesting.
they had the actors put their hands in the cement.
Yeah.
That's the ceremony at the
And,
theater.
and did you hear about Chris Evans? How he almost goofed up his signature.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
What did he do?
There was an article that came out and said Chris almost screwed up his signature. No pressure there, right? You're putting your signature in concrete the last forever.
Forever.
You
In
know?
fact, he should have screwed it up just so that it lasts forever. He's like, yeah, that's just me.
Girls wore
But I guess if
rings
you
on their
screw it up,
Oh yeah,
that looked like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
I guess if you screw it up, all you do is go.
right?
Start
Just
over.
start over.
that little scrape thing is straight back up.
But yeah, what's her name? Brie
Brie Larson
Larson.
and Scarlett.
They had the rings,
Yeah.
and then the
Oh,
but
man.
people were busting Brie because they were out of order.
Oh God.
oh
And then
come
people
on,
were also mad because Chris Hemsworth's ex showed up at the premiere.
she can be there.
I guess it was what's her face from Star Wars, Natalie Portman.
Oh really?
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot
Big
about
deal.
They're
I mean,
freaking
come on,
out.
I know nothing about that. So.
right? Like it was
That's
years
the
ago.
fan talk.
He's
Everyone-
married. He's got a kid. Everything's
that.
fine,
Well, I mean, that really is Jane Foster and Thor. So,
right?
Oh, that's
What are
true.
you gonna do?
That's true.
But
other than that, you can tell us how your weekend was.
So I worked all weekend for
At
the
Tiki
Golden
Bar?
Tiki. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was Viva Las Vegas, so I was really busy. I was working night shift and morning shift pretty much every
Wow.
day. And I waited on some famous pinup models like Sabina Kelly,
Oh.
Claire Sinclair.
What was
Nice.
What was I doing?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
wait.
packed. And then I also started my job at Caesars, so I've been doing both. So today was the first day I got to sleep a little bit.
Wow.
Sleep and she's here. That shows you her dedication. To you
Dedication.
fans.
Yeah, I got some
vampire party.
Oh yeah, I
oh, you got
forgot
kicked
about
out of the
that.
vampire party. I saw that post on
So-
Instagram.
Tell us what the heck happened.
How did you get
So-
kicked out?
I found out about this vampire party because one of the girls and her boyfriend that I work with are into the it's not gothic, but the like that type of interior design where it's like the whole house is like looks like an old Louisiana mansion.
Oh, okay.
So she's into that stuff. So I got tickets and we went and so I was wearing a white and black dress and my boyfriend was wearing a black and red collared shirt with black on the rest of him. And we go to the party. We're the only blonde people there.
Right, because
And-
everybody has black hair,
yeah,
right?
or wigs or whatever. And so I love horror, and I say it funny, but I go to horror cons all over the country. And so I thought it was going to be like a fun, like costume party, you know? So we're there about an hour, and this guy comes up from the front door and was like, "Excuse me, but you're not dressed properly because you're wearing black and red. You have to be, the dress code's all black." And I was like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?"
What?
There were girls there wearing nothing. There were girls there wearing all red.
Wait a minute. When you say nothing,
Like tape over their nipples or just wearing a sheer top.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
and I didn't get an invitation to this.
I don't know. I was going to say the same thing.
All right, we're flipping this table. Everybody flip the table but you.
So,
We're gonna have to talk about this, okay?
So wait, are
they
you
had
serious?
like a pool party where women were wearing barely nothing. So yeah, but what it was is that we didn't fit in because we were blonde and we didn't look like vampires. I did a vampire movie a few years back and I wore my fangs.
Yeah, you had your fangs in. They look good.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? And the guy literally said to me, he said, people spend a lot of money for costumes at these things. And I looked at him and I'm like, this is an Oscar de la Renta dress. Like, are you kidding
Right?
me
It's like,
now?
this is Oscar de la Renta, and she's wearing duct tape.
Right.
So, like,
yeah, like, it was literally because we didn't fit in.
that's
You know-
messed
So it
up.
was like
You know
some
what my excuse would
elitist
have been?
vampire thing.
Mm.
My comment would have been, "Excuse me, son, but this is for vampires, and if you want to keep this conversation going, I am going to suck the blood right out of you."
No, but
Every
that's the
last
thing is that
drop.
there was some
How do you
weird-
think I've gotten the way I am?
There were some
okay,
weird
I'm a
things
blood
going on.
sucker.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about how we were sure people were sucking each other's blood.
Wow.
It was weird.
Well, I'm kind of glad that you didn't stick around then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be like a fun costume party.
Yeah.
Like this weekend, there's a pirate festival going on.
Yeah.
Where people
Yep.
dressing up like pirates, right? So, no, it was weird. it was one of those underground things that only happens in Vegas that you're like don't really know about. But when you catch wind of it, you think it's kind of just like kooky, like people used to look at cosplay being kind of weird. Yeah. This is like a whole nother level.
There are
like they think they're really vampires.
I was going to say there are parties that take place, and it's interesting how people would say, "Oh, well, that can't happen." No. And these are the parties. These are what we call the parties of the absolute utter elite.
Right, the eyes wide shut parties.
Yeah, that's different.
You will be shocked as to the things that would go on at these parties.
Bohemian Grove.
What it takes to get into those too.
Right. Well, I've seen some of that stuff. I've been to some of those weird parties.
Like seriously, like Bohemian Grove. Like right now, I'm waiting for that little red dot that comes shining on my forehead right now. But yeah, there's some crazy parties out there that you wouldn't even know about.
I mean, we're talking about that thing where the only way to get in is you have to have a special medallion to it, and to get that medallion, number one, you have to be at a certain level as far as
like John Wick level,
as far as society and everything. I mean, it's scary stuff.
This is weird because they literally thought they were vampires.
Well, I'm glad that you got to experience it before it got too crazy.
Yeah,
and I'm actually kind of glad you got kicked out. So he's like, okay, I experienced it. I don't have to go further into the nuts.
What we said was this was a sign that we weren't supposed to be there.
Right. But anyway.
So how long were you there? Until
I was there probably like an hour and a half.
So you guys were there for how long?
But so that means that somebody in the party must have been like, they don't belong here.
Yeah, because
that's
what the
real.
guy said too. He said, we got to complain.
Are you kidding me?
This guy came up that had his face like fully painted in like a skull, and he was wearing like a black cape and like black pants and a black shirt, and he came up and like looked us up and down as he was walking by and made us like really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it was weird.
At that point, I would have just
go in dressed like the Undertaker.
That's what we were talking about, dressing like Blade and going
right.
Basically, you want me?
Well, I like new experiences, but that was weird.
Son.
Well, like I said, you got to experience it a little bit.
Well, and that's the thing. So I also used to work on the originals, and like that's a vampire show. So for 5 months, we were in a studio that was all their houses. It looked like New Orleans, and I was submersed in that. And so that's what I thought it was going to be like. The culture where people like it, but not people that thought they were vampires.
It's like, excuse me, but I don't think she really drinks blood.
Exactly.
I don't think she really drinks blood. I don't think so.
That's exactly how it was.
Can you imagine being that snotty? Like, those aren't even real, and she doesn't really drink blood, and her boyfriend's wearing red and black. So oh, my God. Anyway.
You guys would have been like, what?
I would have been like taking pictures of naked people. So you idiots.
We got to talk about toys.
Yeah, toys.
How was your weekend?
I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta see how everybody's doing here.
Honestly, I did nothing on my weekend but work on Marvel cards and commissions and draw, basically.
Yes, awesome.
That's all I did.
Usual stuff.
Huh?
Usual stuff.
Usual stuff.
Yeah, he got a phone call or a text me. Need you to do this real quick. Okay.
But how quick was I, though? Because
I'm not complaining.
Like, he literally comes to dude, we need a flyer for a level up.
Call this guy, and I know, it shows up in my email box.
Right? He's like, dude, we need this level up flyer for our show and, all these things. Can you do it? I was like, give me an hour. So about an hour and 50 minutes later, it's in his,
No
so.
complaint.
And then you went somewhere.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I went to eat out at a good restaurant 2 nights.
What was the restaurant?
With the lady friend.
What was the restaurant, though?
Mordeo over on Spring Mountain and between Decatur and Jones.
Mordeo. That's a free plug.
Hey, gotcha. Lewis over
at Mordeo. How about love coming back this way?
I had... what did I have? We had steaks and stuff. Like the second night I had a tomahawk steak.
Oh, my God.
I always take the bone home to my little Betty.
What is it?
Yeah, because my chihuahua's like this big and the bone's like this.
With the bone that's like huge.
Yeah, you take the
as opposed to a T-bone.
What?
We take the bones home to our dogs.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
The bone's like
big
this.
Rib bone.
Well, I mean, when you're paying like $70 for a steak, you literally take everything home. I'll take the plate home.
I'll take bone. You take grizzle. You even get the scraps off the floor.
Dude, I got my fork in my pockets. I like everything. If I could take the
was that the plastic one?
If I could take the tablecloth, I would. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Anyways, as you guys can see here, we got a lot of toys here. We should just
from different eras too.
Yeah.
Definitely from different eras. I'll just go first since I only brought one toy. I got Voltron here.
But that's an ultimate toy, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. Because in the 80s, if you had the die-cast version,
The metal one. Yeah.
that was a grail piece. But I had it, and, growing up, I lost it. And, I was able to find a plastic one, so I said, you know what, I need to have it anyway. I'll pick it up. So,
Might as well.
it's Voltron, and it splits apart, and you can transform it into
All the different lions and everything?
stuff. Just take one arm off, and you can see. Boom.
See, this is what I like about toys that are out of package. You actually get to play with them. Yeah.
It's like the weirdest looking. See, so like the early ones. See, you can see there's like a little cockpit here with a little.
Yeah.
That
And you
was
get
not,
the little dude in there.
Yeah, that was not on the original toy. Do that with the whole thing.
See, what I used to do, I would literally be like this, and I would have, I'd take out and I'd be like,
You're like, hey, because these sword. Look how big this sword is.
This
Look at that
is
thing.
where I can see where Power Rangers got their idea.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. This
Right.
came out in like, 83, 84?
I have no idea,
Power
man.
Rangers was like 90.
90s.
So,
I wonder why they didn't get in trouble for that. For
yeah.
copying it.
That's not really common. I mean, like in Japan, like there's so many different.
The knockoffs are, yeah. I like the knockoffs though.
Oh yeah,
Free, you're scaring me.
What? He's peeing on the cup.
You're
You're supposed to play with toys, by the way. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Voltron,
Voltron is a
Defender of the Universe.
And there's other
So
universe.
Chandler, what do you have?
Well, considering I'm a little older than you guys, obviously the toys that are available to me back in the day, it's when the dinosaurs roamed, were a little different. But basically, growing up, I think everyone had their safety blanket to a certain degree. My safety blanket was my Snoopy. Needless to say, my original Snoopy did not make it this far. So many years ago, while at San Diego, I went to the Charles Schultz booth, the Snoopy booth at San Diego
Nice.
Comic-Con, and I picked up a new Snoopy for me. And he now sits on my headstand, or my headboard, overlooking the bed, watching, keeping an eye on everything.
Awesome.
So,
He didn't have a nanny cam in there.
what's
A
that?
nanny cam. You didn't have a nanny cam?
Oh, secret.
No.
Camera.
No, because I'm not going to take a chance of someone getting into it.
Right.
You know, God knows I don't need them to get pictures of me running around my bedroom naked.
Sharon will
You know
kill
what
you.
That's scary. That's scary stuff.
You know what you need? You need the little doghouse that you can put Snoopy on his back.
Okay.
So he's
You know-
laying on it.
You know how Snoopy lays on his back in the doghouse?
Yeah.
He's sunbathed.
No. As it is, I'm a little weary of having stuff sitting up on the headboard anyway.
Because it'll fall. but
Because, God forbid, if we have an earthquake,
I'm
you
at least if that hits you, you're okay. You know
know.
what I mean? But,
But,
it's actually kind of cool that you got it from the Charles Schwartz booth.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and not just like some random
Now,
thing.
here is a story. Here is a story. This might even draw a tear or two. When I was a little kid, we're talking 6, 7, 8 years old. My father had a sailboat. We used to lived in Southern California, and we used to go sailing all the time. We'd go to Catalina a lot. And there was one time where we went to Catalina, and it was nighttime, and there was a earthquake, an under ocean earthquake that took place, and there was a tsunami warning that had gone out. And so basically anyone who were on boats in the harbor were told to evacuate off the boats and to basically climb to the highest point on the island in the event that there was a tsunami wave. So we obviously leave the boat and everything, and we're on our little, like our little putt-putt boat, going from the sailboat to the shore. And once we get there, I realized I'm sneaking on the boat. Ooh. And oh my God, I was
freaked out.
Upset. I was really upset. And my father, even though people said you're not allowed to go back to the boat, my father said, I have to go back to the boat. I'll be right back. He went back to the boat. He got my Snoopy.
That's awesome.
So, Dad, I love you.
Yeah.
Miss you. And
that's very cool.
Yeah, I wish I would have met him.
That
Seems like a really great guy.
That was one of those moments that never forget.
Yeah.
So, as far as other toys, you know what? What kid, what boy growing up in the 60s and the early 70s didn't play with G.I. Joe? And just so you know, Megan, I know you probably had to play with Barbie once in a while. Do me a favor, tell Barbie that basically kick Ken to the curb. That's the real man, right there. That's the real man.
Yeah,
G.I. Joe is the real man, not Ken.
Ken's always been good.
Ken's a wimp. Ken is a wimp. There's the real man. G.I. Joe. Yo, Joe!
And his abs showing.
Right.
So, even though I obviously did not have the originals from back then, I did have some of these at home. I ended up digging through and finding some. And here again, I got these in San Diego years ago. And they've been sitting in my toy collection.
I mean, you know what? Through the 60s and 70s, there were some great toys. G.I. Joe definitely being one of them.
I even had the capsule, the space capsule.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I had the astronaut in the space capsule and stuff.
It
was that was classic stuff.
What about Mego? The Mego figures? Did you ever click
Miglo?
The what?
The Mego figures?
Miglo.
Is it Mego or Mego? It's Mego.
With an L-O.
I don't know.
Migo?
Sure, you're talking about Hot Wheels?
No. I'm talking about Mego.
Well, I mean, basically,
they're Hot Wheels as well.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels with big things.
Mego.
Okay, so Migo was actually one of the first designers of because when they were looking at because again Netflix, right, toys that we grew up on, and they were saying the story about how articulate the GI Joes were, and the reason why is because when they're designing it, the guy was walking down the street and he walked by an art studio or like an art supply place, and the art supply place has those the wooden guys that look, so you can pose them whatever you want. He's like. So he bought one, and he goes, "We're making a toy like this.
Yeah.
We're going to make it so that he can get down in the trenches. We're going to make a toy so he can be jumping out of an airplane." And so that's how like the whole articulation
Ken can do anything.
He
had plastic hair even for a while. And when all girls would have I didn't have a Barbie dream mansion, but my grandma would get had rental property, and she'd get wallpaper sample books.
Nice.
So we'd make Barbie mansions out of cardboard boxes.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go.
But we had a couple of Ken dolls that, if we were weird kids, that didn't fit in, and they would try to take Barbie on dates, but you couldn't pose
In
them.
other words, this was par for the course, living where you lived, right?
Yeah. We had this one that was like a teenager kid, and we had no clothes for him because we got him secondhand.
Wow.
So we
Oh my
called
God,
him
you
Trash
really are
Boy, and we said he lived in the dumpster.
Oh.
We were weird kids.
You had a homeless Ken?
No,
I love the fact that she made this whole homeless Ken.
Wow.
Clothes on him too.
I love the fact that when you're a kid, especially you apparently, you just make this whole scenario
Yeah, we had
around a
whole
naked
thing.
Ken doll.
And then the girls that we had weird Barbies have weird setup. They're not like we're going to war, we're going to space. They're like we're going to the laundromat or the grocery store. So we had a Barbie laundromat. So the girls that were dressed too provocatively to be in the house with the kids, they sat at the laundromat. So it's like ice skater Barbie.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you went deep into this
we
world. Wow.
Oh yeah, go back to around your era of toys. You had the Mego figures. You had G.I. Joe. What else was there? Like Slinky.
Slinky, Frisbee.
I'll tell you actually what also was a fun toy for me, and ironically it connects me to Las Vegas. Back in the late '60s, my father's business back then came to Vegas to put on a sales convention. And I remember we were staying at Caesar's Palace, and at one point they had like a toy store type of or gifts / toy store in the casino. And I remember being taken to the toy store, and I saw this wooden fort.
Oh,
and
cool.
You know how you had the little army men?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, it was Indians and cowboys.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool. And so my father ended up buying that for me. And that's what I played with the whole time I was there,
awesome.
while he was taking care of business.
Nice.
You
There
know,
you
I'm
go.
sitting in the room and I'm playing with my new fort with cowboys and Indians, and I remember having that for years, and it got put away someplace, and where it ended up going to, I don't
Who
know.
knows?
I'll be honest with you. I'm actually, just so you know, we unfortunately we tried to have Steve Johnston, who is the owner of Rogue Toys, who's a big toy shop here in town, and he was not able to make it today because he has to get ready for Level Up, but he definitely wants to come back. But I'm going to talk to him about these toys because, man, some of the stuff is, I mean, again, it's vintage stuff, and I know that there's got to be one of these sets found in someone's basement, someone's,
Probably.
Right.
someone's
eBay.
trunk out in
eBay.
their barn or whatever. What's that?
eBay.
Well,
Like seriously, there's probably like overgrown trees or whatever in a barn somewhere that just has everybody's lost toys.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That would be a good like comic book.
that would be
Yeah.
like the lost toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. I like
As opposed
again.
to the
I
Lost Boys.
Hey, Free,
Well,
I'll
yeah.
start working on the screen. I'll start working on the script.
let's do it. I'm down. And so
All right,
is
tell me-
Quincy.
Tell me about the this particular GI Joe that you have here.
What's
The World War II.
Oh well, this is the one that I grabbed, but this is this particular model is what they call the World War II infrared sniper, which I kind of laugh at because I'm not aware that they had infrared back
I
in
know
World
that's
War
what
II.
we.
You know, but you know, and you know, obviously this was something that was newer because back in the '60s they didn't have blister packs or stuff like this.
Mhm.
You know, they had boxes.
Boxes.
So, but like I what it was is it was 1 year, like I would say at least 10 years ago, if not maybe 15 years ago. I was at San Diego, and just I happened to see a dealer who had a bunch of these. I'm like, "Ooh, I'm gonna like buy one of each."
Yeah.
And I have it sitting in a box in one of the bedrooms at the house. And like I said, this before I came over here, I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god, I got GI Joe. I got to grab that." So, but that we're talking one of the original. It really, honestly, it hasn't changed all that much. Just like what you were talking about, where you have the articulation and stuff.
Yeah.
You look at
Hands.
McFarlane Toys as an example. You look at how they've changed the making of toys and how articulate toys are because these are sports characters.
Yeah.
And I mean the positions you can put them in and stuff. This is old school. I mean, there's only so much it can do. Otherwise, you end up ripping the arm off, or ripping the leg off, or pulling the head off, or whatever.
Real fabric clothes.
Yeah, I was about to say real fabric clothes, and if you look at even just like the accessories, they're painted and weathered and everything. So that's really cool. Okay, so I'm reading a little bit on the back here. Now we thought that WW2 infrared wasn't used in there, but it says here that the prototypes are used in the Pacific Theater, but the first ever use of an infrared operation system proved its usefulness against nighttime tactics. So they actually had infrared, but as prototype.
I'll have to research that.
Yeah.
I've never really, I wasn't aware of it.
That's kind of cool.
But, here again, it's no different than you look at things such as microwaves,
Yeah.
When did microwaves actually start getting, when did they start using microwave technology?
When they started freezing pizzas.
A long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long before these three were born.
Oh, way long.
Was it the 50s?
Probably like the 40s, 50s, and 40s.
Because I think I remember in the fourth Indiana Jones they had it in one of those mock houses where
Mm.
they blew up with a
And that was in the 50s. So the atomic drop
testing site.
grounds.
Yeah.
But I hate to cut you off. We need to move this along because we only have an hour left. So, or not an hour left. We have an hour show. But since you were talking about GI Joes, I know that you brought GI Joe to you.
I did.
Let's just get into.
I brought the newer version of the GI Joes. Like the original, of course, are bigger and 12.
The 10 to 12 inch
Yeah.
ones,
These are the
You got the little 4 to 6.
I got the 46, and the reason why they made it this small, I don't know if you ever seen the Netflix TV show Toys That We Grew Up On. The reason why is because they were going again war time, and they still wanted to put out toys, but because plastic and everything was used for war efforts, they had to shrink it down. And one of the main reasons why is because Star Wars actually started putting out the smaller versions of little toys here
It
and
was
there.
cheaper to manufacture.
Exactly. But Star Wars was putting out like the, I don't know what size this is. 5-inch? Four
There's
to
a
6.
specific size, like 4.7.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So what they had to do, because Star Wars was hitting such a big market, they shrank down the G.I. Joes to make it compatible with fighting against Jedis and Sith. So isn't that crazy, right? Like the reason why certain things happen. I personally had that one because I was always into Native American stuff. All my sports teams were Blackhawks and Chiefs and all that kind of stuff. Of course, Florida State Seminoles, and so Spirit comes with the eagle, and of course he had a knife and everything. And I mean,
But
yeah.
there's one thing he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Not that mine necessarily has it, but I do remember when they came out with this. That was so cool. That's the Kung Fu grip.
He's got the Kung Fu grip.
Huh?
He's got the Kung Fu grip.
No,
Like articulated though.
Yours has it.
Yeah, I don't know if it has the Kung Fu grip.
No, yeah. Look at the knuckles.
But
Yours has it. Where it does that. But anyway,
All right. So what else you got here?
so I got that. I have the X-Men Magneto, of course. One of the newer ones. This is actually like a $300 toy right here. That's the steampunk Batman, because I was known for doing steampunk artwork, and my friend Jay Savage gave me this as a gift.
You have to put his wings out.
I know.
I mean,
I don't want to mess with it. Really.
yeah, I don't really want to mess with it, but and then of course, being Tombstone fanatics, you and I.
Yep.
This is just a toy gun, but I actually learned how to do like the flipping and all that, just because of Tombstone and Young Guns. And then growing up in Hawaii, man, I'm doing like a whole thing. Growing up in Hawaii, we always used to have these plastic swords that you get from Japan, like super cheap, super, and you start playing with your friends and all that. But yeah,
Boom.
and that's all my stuff.
And last but not least,
Me.
tell
Yes.
us about the little friend you're behind this.
So my favorite movie when I was a kid is E.T. And
The extraterrestrial.
yes. So before I moved here, so in my hometown, the world's longest yard sale runs right through my hometown. It's
Are you serious?
27 yard sale. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I started going out and getting antique and collectible toys and putting them on my eBay store because I would find all kinds of stuff that was I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm finding like your attic toys that have been missing. So anyway, I started going to stores that were closing and buying toys in bulk and stuff like that. Well, the store's closing in the mall back home, and they had him. And he was on display. And I was like, how much is that or whatever? And they gave me a good deal, and I was like, okay. So I got him. I brought him home. And E.T. was always my favorite movie when I was a little kid. So I thought it was funny because every week I would drive to Atlanta to do TV shows and movies. And so I would put him in the van with me, and I would take his picture at landmarks. So I got a picture with him, like there's a puppet museum in Atlanta, and I have a picture of him sitting in the Goblin King's actual throne.
Oh, nice.
And then I have his picture like in a bunch of Walking Dead locations. There's an old 1950s dinosaur park in Cave City in Kentucky, and I have his picture with dinosaurs.
Cool.
So then a few years ago at one of my favorite conventions, Horror Hound, they had the cast of E.T. there. So I got him signed by the whole cast except for Drew Barrymore is the only one left. So I got Elliot, the mom, the brother.
Well, that's a challenge out to Drew.
Right,
Drew. I need you to sign this.
Well, yeah, so I was hoping, because I had applied to be her stand-in, and normally I don't, bother actors, but I was going to tell her about him, and maybe she would.
Well, that's the good thing about the internet. Go on Instagram, follow her, and say, I have ET, and I really want to get your
She's
signature on
real elusive, kind of like Harrison Ford, so she's hard to get.
that. That is true.
But I'll get it eventually.
Right,
So
well,
he sits in my dining room in a chair, and he wears Carl's cowboy hat
Oh, nice.
that Robert Kirkman signed, and then I have a Walking Dead mask he wears, and he holds a little jack-o'-lantern, and then I have Daisy, I guess it is, that in the movie he brought back to life, so I have that sitting in his hand.
E.T. must phone home.
Sometimes I dress like Drew Barrymore and I take him to con.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I would totally do it.
But people really love him because he's just funny and he's life size, and so I would take his picture at like different places and or like him being drunk, like having a wild night, and put it online.
So you have that posted?
Yeah, I have a lot, but so I haven't been doing any. So originally I would do it all over the East Coast because I lived on the East Coast, and people were like, well, when are you going to bring him out west and blah, blah, blah. Well, I moved here in October and I haven't gotten any pictures with him yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
So now I'm going to.
now you're going to.
He's going
because
to come
on
to
the show.
Foodie Fest.
So, awesome.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
And then I also, okay, so
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot of toys. So when I moved here, like half my U-Haul is boxes of toys. Mainly toys I sell. So I used to have the entire pop collection of all the Walking Dead pops. And I also have the entire action figure collection. And I get them all signed when I see the actors. So I sold all my pops because they're so valuable. It's like insanely valuable.
Oh, yeah.
Like one pop will be like $350. And so these are the only ones I kept. They're Scott Wilson's, and he signed them to me before he passed away last year.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Scott Wilson played Herschel on Walking Dead, and he had leukemia, but he still did the show, and and when they killed him off on the show, I don't know how long it was afterward. It wasn't
It
that
was
long.
a few years he got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the signatures on these pops are like you can't never get them again.
Yeah.
So that's really
Well,
interesting.
and people always do this when somebody passes away, but like people started selling them. Obviously, they're autographs for an insane price, but to me, this is not worth selling
Mm-hmm.
because he signed them to me.
Right?
Why
Oh,
would
yeah.
I sell that?
Like those are personalized. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is, Megan.
That's why
So-
I kept it.
Those are
Yeah, it's
So these sit in my kitchen.
cool.
And that's the thing is I have toys all over my house. Like E.T.'s in the dining room and those are in the kitchen.
You need to get the protective case for this.
I know.
I have they sit on top of a case that Sid, I don't want to mess up his name, from Devil's Reject.
The plastic box.
I know. But I have like a case that I have Sid stuff in that they sit on top of.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I need to.
Very, very
So
cool, guys.
so I level up. Maybe you can find the
box.
like the little plastic
Well,
box.
I have pictures of him
We
too.
have the boxes at Celestial.
Oh, you
I
do?
have pictures of him too, so I think I'm just going to get one of those things and put it all in.
Cool.
Very
I think
cool.
you need to create a page specific, though, a
For my
specific Facebook page.
For all my toys.
No, for him.
Well,
For all the
I
pictures
did
of
make
him.
a Instagram for him. It's Traveling ET, but I
Traveling.
got locked out of it. I guess somebody was trying to hack it to steal it.
Ah,
Yeah. So another thing with this is that this was made by a Halloween toy company, and they only made so many of them. So when I started traveling with him, and people liked his posts, my mom looked it up and she was like, "Megan, do you know how much those are worth now?
How much
Because
are
they only made so many." So
So-
like 2 years ago, they were worth like $600, and now they're worth what more than that?
And she's just walking around with him, like holding his
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah, here's the question.
It wasn't that much. It wasn't that much.
You won't tell us.
Are we looking at like hundreds or like $50?
Couple hundred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes more sense. I was like,
You know, it's funny. I actually have pictures at home, and I guess I should find them and everything. But there was a period of time where I have a rubber duck. His name is Quackles.
oh yeah.
And Quackles traveled the country. As a matter of fact, this is back when Sharon and I, when we met in AOL, the chat room in AOL and stuff. And Quackles was kind of created as a result of that. And it was actually someone that told me their story about how they had this little animal that they took around. This was a professional law enforcement trainer who traveled the world. He'd take this thing around with him, and he'd take pictures of wherever he was at. And I thought, how cool of an idea that is. But what ended up happening is Quackles kind of took on his own life. And next thing I know, we would go to these AOL parties. All the girls would want pictures with Quackles.
Yeah,
So
everybody wants.
you'd have. I can't tell you how many pictures I have of Quackles kissing, all these different girls. I'm going, that got more action than anybody.
So when I went,
All right. Sorry, I have to cut you guys off. We have literally 20 minutes left in the show. We still have to do our top 3 topics. So when we get back, guys, our top 3 topics of the day. Stick around. Welcome back, guys. It is our top 3 topics of the day.
All right, let's get started.
Geeked Out Top 3 Topics of the Day.
All right, topic number 1. Did you? Oh, actually, before I start this, since we got not a lot of time left, this is gonna be no side stories about maple syrup and just get to the answer as fast as possible. All right, topic number 1. Did you have a toy when you were a kid that you swore everyone had, but nobody else seems to remember it?
Anybody? Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
I had the toy. It was like half orange, half blue, and it was called Power Lords. And nobody even recognized it except for today.
I know.
Quincy actually was like, I remember that, and he looked it up on the online,
Nerd.
and I had no idea what the name of it was and all that, but he figured it out. So it's called Power Lords. It's the weirdest looking toy you'll ever see. So go check it out.
Cool.
Megan?
I had a toy that I don't remember the name of it, the specific name of it, but it was a dog. It was a pregnant dog, and it would have puppies. It was called Puppy Surprise.
Puppies.
So they brought it back recently, but before they brought it back, I would tell people about this, and they were like, "What?" Because it literally had it wasn't anatomically
Surprise.
correct.
Yeah,
It would have them out of the belly, but it was cool because we would fight over, me and my sister, over whose puppy had more puppies. So it was a big deal if you got 4 or 5 puppies instead of 3.
Oh my god.
But they brought it back recently, so a lot of the kids will know what it is now.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness. I gotta look that up too.
It's called Puppy Surprise.
I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna look that. Look
Puppy
that up
Surprise.
after the show. Chandler.
6.5 hours later.
You know, I'm sure there was something, but I can't remember.
All right, for me as a kid, I think nobody seems to remember Photon. At least I don't think so. Do you guys remember
Photon. I
You
know
guys
a
remember-
comic
Do
book.
you remember
Photon.
laser tag?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Photon was the competition basically. Had a
Oh,
TV
okay.
show, like a live action TV show, and everything around the same time. And yeah, I like every time I bring it up,
Photon.
for some reason I can't I'm a library. I remember all this stuff. The main character's name was Bodhi Lee, and he had a cast of characters, kind of like Star Wars.
Oh my goodness.
And like the background, it was like the worst green screen. Like it was horrible.
They can still see the green.
Like literally, like there's no like it was literally like they probably had just a green screen, and then like they would run back and forth in front of the green screen, like shooting each other. It was so stupid, but I remember it. So, Photon is mine. All right.
All right.
Number 2.
Number 2. What's your favorite comic book based toy line, and what would be your Grail toy in your collection that you would want to add to your collection?
Okay.
Comic based toy line. There's not. I mean, I can't remember. Like or one of the first ones that I remember was Secret Wars. They had their line of toys, and they were pretty accessible. I think back in the days.
Well, back in the days, yeah, you can get the Black Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah.
Now, not so much.
Wolverine, Daredevil, the most fit Dr. Octopus.
I think I have a black Spider-Man at home.
You do?
An action figure, yeah.
Like I remember
As I was
having it.
digging through the boxes looking for that.
Oh, that one you
Going,
should have brought.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And I'm sitting there like tossing the boxes. I'm going, oh yeah, let me see Wolverine.
I'm-
Oh, okay,
yeah.
oh that's Spider-Man. Oh okay, so.
But yeah, I mean, like the only bad thing about those toys was that they weren't really articulate.
Nope.
It literally like you had the
The limbs.
the limbs, the legs. The legs didn't even bend. Like it was literally posed like a certain way.
Yeah.
The only accessory that it came with was like a little shield with a hologram in it.
I remember
You
that.
put a picture in there.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. So.
It would definitely be Walking Dead. Because I have the whole collection. I'm obsessed.
But you have it though.
Well, but there's a few I'm missing. So my favorite ones are the season 1 I got Robert Kirkman to sign.
Oh, that's
Very
cool.
few people have those because they're so old.
Yeah.
And they didn't know the show would be that popular then.
Right.
So there weren't that many of them. But there is one I don't have, and it's a black and white one that is worth a lot. Like $600 or something.
Dang.
Wow.
And I don't have that one. And I'm the completist, so I have to have the whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So,
And your birthday is when?
I know. In November. Near.
Right, so everybody out there.
My birthday's the weekend it is gone.
Oh, is
Really?
it?
Yeah. That's why I was a train wreck last.
Oh,
Well, you know, I mean,
Alright.
everybody out there, you got enough time to save some money.
Yeah.
So,
Come to Great American Comic Con and give her birthday gifts.
yes.
so what would be yours?
That was the Marvel.
Oh, yeah, Secret Wars, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, he's still.
Oh, he's okay. For me, back in the days, there was this toy that I remember having in the comic book. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but it was Cops, COPS.
Yes.
And I used to like the guy Boom Boom.
Which one was Boom Boom?
He was the purple gangster suit guy, and
Okay.
and because his chest would open up and the Tommy guns would come out, and so so I was all into that. So that I've seen it recently at a convention, and I should have just picked it up. It was only like $25. Really should have just got it, but I didn't because I'm trying to make money, not spend money. That kind of attitude. But I should have just got it. But Cops is one of my favorites.
Drawn by the famous Bart Sears.
Yes, and that's another reason why I was into Bart Sears. And I don't know if you noticed, but Bart Sears is actually the one that drew.
Yeah. You
This.
can tell because like the musculature and all
Yeah.
that.
So
Super detailed.
so that'd be mine.
Very cool. Okay.
All right, Chandler.
Chandler.
Well, I'm actually looking this up, but I would have to say, sticking with G.I. Joe, considering G.I. Joe actually started out as a toy first, then it became a very popular comic book
Of course,
series with
yeah.
Marvel. Herb Trimpe started off drawing it, and from the comic book series came different characters, and I would have to say probably for me it would be getting some of those characters. An example would be Baroness.
Oh, the Baroness. Yes.
Was not Baroness was not part of the original G.I. Joe
Lineup,
toys or
really?
anything.
I didn't know that.
Going back in the 60s?
Back in the 60s.
Oh, that's true. They weren't
Back
making
in the
females.
60s? No.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that, for me, it would be the transition that took place of the comic book industry adapting the G.I. Joe characters, but then expanding upon them with Cobra.
Yeah.
'Cause back in this day, Cobra
It was-
didn't exist either.
Yeah, it was Nazis and it was all these other things.
So I would have to say, for me, it would be probably those original characters that would then put up against the original G.I. Joes.
Ah, there you go.
That's awesome.
That's
Very
actually.
cool. All right, topic number 3. What's your favorite toy that's still around to this day? Who wants to go first? I'll go first.
Go
I already
first.
know mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Transformers. All day. Transformers.
All day.
That's the easiest one. I mean,
I think mine would probably be He-Man. Like the original ones were really stocky.
Yeah.
The newer ones are like elongated and they have really nice bodies and cut and everything.
You could also stretch them out.
Great.
That was like
But-
stretch
Stretchable
arms.
ones.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, He-Man. I think like the new ones, like they're
Are there new ones?
yeah. And I didn't notice until I actually went down to Sin City Pickers
Uh-huh.
and went to one of my friend's shops. He owns a toy shop, and he had them there. And I mean, they're a little expensive, but because there's a short run.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still around, and they look so much better now.
I was gonna bring. I totally forgot to bring it. Was I have both the battle damage armor He-Man and Skeletor. I was gonna bring those.
Nice.
But you, Chandler.
Okay, word the question again so I can...
What's your favorite toy that's still around to this day?
Snoopy. Like, did you have the Snoopy
Oh,
ice cone maker?
Oh man, I had that.
Well,
I had
but
that
I
too.
mean, give you an example, like what I have like Snoopy bobbleheads now. So again, it's taking the piece line from where its origins was in the 50s, and basically what they've done with the toys, the toys they've created from it, and the fact that you still can go and pick up, and same size.
Same size.
It's like how long? Yeah, just the fact that they still make these
Right.
is amazing to me.
They have a Snoopy drone.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they have
Oh,
a,
I see
that flies because like the Red
Red
Baron.
Oh, okay.
So I saw that. That's kind. I want to get
Yeah.
that. They have it at Knott's Berry Farms. So
Yeah.
and Megan.
I mean, Barbie's always a big one. Because now Barbie's more 21st century, so she's not just a housewife.
That is
Yeah.
true.
She's a career woman.
And I think isn't the body style a little bit more realistic? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Like she's not going to
So
fall over.
like her waist isn't like that small.
Well, they
like,
still make those, but now they have ones that look like real girls.
Oh.
So when I was a little girl, it was really, really hard to find dolls that had brown hair and brown eyes. Because all the dolls had blonde hair or
Blue
brown hair
eyes.
and blue eyes.
Yeah.
So the first one that had brown hair and brown eyes was the American Girl doll. But
Oh,
now
yeah.
Barbie does make all the stuff because little girls are like, I don't want a white Barbie with blonde hair.
Mhm.
I want one that looks like me.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing brand because I have two sisters and we were in the Philippines and they put out an actual Filipino Barbie.
Yeah.
Who's older or who's the oldest?
I am.
You are. So you're lucky because if you had been the youngest, they would have used you to.
They would have usually. They would have
You
been
know how
painting
I
your
know that's
nails.
Yeah, we did that to my little brother.
I have that horror story. My aunt did that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an uncle that's like one of the younger brothers.
My aunt, who was 14, sat there and dressed me up
Oh,
on a
yeah.
We
6-year-old
did that
doll.
to my little brother and at my grandma's house. And in Kentucky, people are very conservative. So my grandma was so mad
Oh, I'm sure.
when she found my little brother dressed like a girl.
Right. Nails painted and
The
everything.
emotional damage that you instilled on that kid.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, the Barbie brand is such a great, like they move with the times. They keep it fresh, and going back to my story, we had it was a Barbie. It was it Mattel?
Yeah.
Mattel
Yeah,
stuff?
Filipino.
It was a Filipino Barbie, and they had the traditional Filipino dress on, and like they had, like if you look on the back, they showed you the other countries like Indonesia, Thailand, like
Well,
Yeah,
it became global.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the Barbie
basically,
International series.
Barbie and GI Joe and those toys that were popular, born and bred in the 50s and 60s. They discovered at that time it was very much that was a American toy. You didn't see kind of like blue jeans. Blue jeans. I don't know if I remember being in high school and as we were getting ready to go to college. And I actually had a chance to possibly go over to Russia. Had to do with wrestling. And I remember one of the things that was talked about is fill your suitcase up with blue jeans.
Yeah.
Because you can literally live like a king.
My friend,
Yeah. Blue
my
jeans
friend's
were
teacher
impossible
would
to
talk
get over
about
there.
going to Paris, and people come up to her on the street and buy.
I
her
will buy
jeans.
your jeans. Yeah.
She couldn't get them there. But the thing with Barbie was that they made it affordable enough that anybody could buy Barbie. So they had the ones that was just the doll with the outfit on.
Yeah.
That was under $10, and then they had the one with the accessories that was about
Yeah.
$20, and then they had the ones that had more.
The International series. They also had the Princess series, like the Disney
It
Princess.
was a big deal.
All
They
kinds of
got
stuff.
a Happy birthday Barbie on your birthday.
Oh.
That was a big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there's a Barbie that they put out as a limited edition, blah, 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 blah. And it had actual, like a real diamond on it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And that
You
thing was
remember
like,
this, Free?
yeah.
That didn't fit
Right?
into my Barbie
And
living in the dumpster.
No,
the Barbie was literally $2,500 out of the store.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
well, it's got a diamond on it.
Well, so in revenge for us dressing my little brother up, he would rip the heads off some of the Barbies and some of the troll dolls.
well, he's got rouge
Or
and
he'd
lipstick.
Still, like Barbie, my grandma bought him a cool shaven Ken doll. So he'd steal Barbie's pink Jeep and drag Barbie by her hair down the hallway.
That's how you do it, brother.
Wow.
Good for you.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so
right.
that's it for our top 3 topics of the day. When we get back, we are going to wrap the show up. Stick around. back, folks. Wow, this has been like we've spent the last hour talking about toys,
And we could go another hour or two.
I know. Like, I wanted to bring up stuff that, like, from my era that
Well, we'll have to do it again.
I know.
Yeah.
We all have lots of toys at our house.
Like
and he has
mass?
a whole comic store
Right?
full of toys.
like Bionic 6 toys, Sectors,
Centurion,
Visionaries, Centurions.
Mask,
like
Mobile Armored Strike Command.
It sounded like you said sex toys.
Sectors.
Bionic. Oh, Sectors.
Sectors.
I thought I heard the same thing.
Yeah,
also. I
I
thought
mean,
he
we are
said
Vegas.
sex toys.
Sectors.
I'm sitting there thinking, why did he just say sex
Yeah, I was
toys?
like, wait.
Because they're toys, aren't they?
Well, you know what's funny? When people ask me about me selling toys in Vegas, they think I mean those toys.
Like,
Well,
off
And
the
I'm
bat?
like, no,
Oh,
like
dude.
toys.
Toys.
That's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, there's so many different toys
So
we can
many.
talk about. And I think this could have been easily like a 2-hour show,
Easily.
but unfortunately, we got to wrap this up. So don't forget, guys, level up this weekend. We're gonna see. What was that?
Wrapping it up.
I know. Oh.
He's miming now.
So level up this weekend. We had the Great American Foodie Fest also this weekend, and anything else. We got her at the Golden Tiki, and me and Free are gonna be eating our butts off.
I'm actually going to be at Caesar's Palace.
Or Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a VIP, this is what you look at.
Yeah. So that's it for our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Man JQ. This is Free.
Yo!
This is Chandler.
Yo.
And this is Megan. And we are out. Peace.
Bye.
What's going on, guys? It's your man JQ with Geeked Out right here on Deftal Radio. If you want to get more content from us,
better make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't know what you're missing.